Welcome back to Ninja Mayhem.
Ninja Mayhem.
I'm Kadawfi Crush, and of course, I'm joined by Liquid Gold Steve.
And today we're talking about Romeo and Juliet. Kind of.
Romeo and Juliet with ninjas. Today we're talking about Basilisk. This show came out in 2005?
Yep.
I was going to say 2006 earlier, but I ain't going to lie. I asked Liquid Gold about it off air. Tried to sound real professional, but I stole your information.
You stole my information.
I Batmaned you. My bad.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
So what is Basilisk about, Kadawfi? What is this Romeo and Juliet with ninjas?
Basilisk is about two rival ninja clans that have a list of 10 of each clan, 10 of the best of each clan that have to kill one another until one clan completely wipes out another of the 10. The reason they're doing this is because the retired shogun has two children, and one of them's going to take over. And we need to figure out who's going to take over so that way the two children's houses don't have to fight. We're going to let the two rival ninja clans who want to kill each other anyway go ahead and break a pact to kill each other with a 10-on-10 situation.
So the retired shogun is just using these people just to that's some shady shit. That's some shitty shit, man.
Well, I mean, they want to do it anyway, and it's a lot less bloodshed than it would be for their
people.
Yeah,
they don't have to kill their people,
right?
But just use the clan, the two clans.
They're not using the whole entire clan either. Just a 10-on-10 competition.
Get the best out of the way.
Get your best 10, I get my best 10.
So the trashy ones are just staying.
I mean, it kind of feels like a Chinese Super Ninja, doesn't it?
No, not really.
In the beginning, that first fight, the 10-on-10. That's all I'm getting at. That's all I was getting at. Trying to be cool over here.
Well, who's the man? Who's the man in this show? Who's the dude?
So our primary main character is actually Oboro of the Iga clan. And the next follow-up main character would be Genosuke of the Koga clan. Like I said, these two clans are rivaling. Their families actually hate one another. Like their clans actually factually hate one another. And it brews back 400 years.
It's on site. They don't want none. They don't want none.
They're not. Yeah, they're not friends. And apparently, there's been multiple infractions throughout history with them throughout these 400 years between them. Where one side did something and the other side did the other, and this side did that and this side did that. And what we come to is the idea that they could marry the two clans together. Eventually, throughout all the time, we come to a man named Danzo. Let me back that up. We come to a man named Danjo and a woman named Ogun. Danjo represents the Koga, and Ogun represents the Iga.
For this show, the flashbacks remind me of Naruto. But bringing up these two, they're going forward to become married, to marry the Iga and the Koga. But something happens. The Iga clan's base is getting burnt down, getting attacked by the Oda. And they kill the leader of the Iga clan, and that makes Ogun the leader, automatic. That's the start. That's how it happens. People die. People get brought in.
Like Starship Troopers.
Shut the fuck up. But so they have to escape. The whole place is going in flames, and they have a very sparse amount of people. So they escape into the woods. But before they can escape, the Koga are in the woods, and they tag team them. They whoop their ass. They kill.
They murder them people.
They did. And Ogun thought it was Donjo that was bringing them there for the attack. Like it was like another fucking ambush. She had the when I watched the flashback, I'm like, man, why do these people look a little different, but they kind of look the same?
Yeah.
Not Ogun. Ogun looked completely different than Obero, but following up,
Ogun looked a little bit like Akaginyu.
Well,
like when she was younger.
So what you're saying is
they look alike, but I'll get to that in a minute. Go ahead.
All right, continuing on. Just to cross the T's and dot the I's. She thinks he's wrong, and she tries to kill him, and she puts a bounty on any Koga that come around in Iga clan's territory. That was the flashback, and now they're going to the capital.
Sunpu. Sunpu is where they meet with Tokugawa Ieyasu and Hattori Hanzo. They meet with them, and both of them bring one of their best Koga and Iga ninjas with them. Now, at this point in time, Ogun and Donjo are old as dirt. Like they're like fragile looking, bony. Like it's almost impossible, as old as they look, that they made the trip all the way to Sunpu, which takes a few days, apparently.
Man, they were ninjas, man.
So they were here under the guise of a demonstration of their ninjas' prowess in combat. So they put a young boy who goes by the name of Yashimaru of the Iga against
Kazamachi Shogun, Spider-Man.
He looked kind of like a spider dude. He had like a big hunch on his back, and he was long in the arms and legs, and just kind of moved around kind of spidery. Kind of had what was it, like little extra dots on his forehead that looked like extra eyes. Like his design was real spidery.
Well, like even his brother later on in the show kind of looked like him with the dots.
His brother. You sure it was his brother?
They look almost exactly alike.
We didn't get any backstory behind the guys.
Like if they almost look exactly alike, I'm gonna just say they close enough to be brothers.
They're brothers. Anyway,
but who in this sparring match? Who had the better fight?
So in this sparring match, we have a Koga versus an Iga, and the Iga, he shows off first. Young Yashimaru, he shows off that he has these they're like rip cords, like these I want to call them stringy fingers, but they're not. They're
metal strings like attached to his hands,
attached to his gloves and hands, and he controls them like whips and like he
can probably use it as rope. He could probably
use it as rope. He could probably use it as whips. But like he essentially binds you with them, and like they slice through you like fishing string.
This man can cube you up.
Yeah, like he could turn you into cube steak right quick.
So it should have Final Destination with the fucking the van backing into the guard.
It'd be like Resident Evil, where the man got caught with the laser room.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, it'd be like something like that.
But yeah, and Kazamachi, the Spider-Man, he's got, well, I'm guessing he has to at least have super strength, like a superior strength to humans.
I mean, he's pretty damn strong.
He's really fucking tall. Like he's like 8 foot tall or
Yeah,
something.
dude's like, I'm saying, he's like Piccolo size.
And he's got he can shoot web out of his mouth from a tongue hole.
Out of his tongue. Yep.
Out of his tongue. And he had the like you make a web. He can make a web that can capture everybody. Pretty much he's a spider with ninja powers.
Yeah, with like slime ball spit stuff.
That would suck. It's exactly like Spider-Man. Like I'm telling you, he could whip you in the face with a whole bunch of spiders.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yeah, so they have a pretty cool fight.
Even with the fighting though, like it was a good fight.
Yeah, it was just a demonstration. They were trying to kill each other. They were, I mean, legit, but they weren't supposed to be. So they were called off before things got too crazy, of course.
A little too serious.
Right.
They crushed in a whole fucking roof, just saying.
And at this meeting is when they find out that there's going to be a war between two homes. And instead of doing that, they would prefer to just let the ninjas kill each other because of their bloodlust for one another.
But the only two... Did the only two people know? Like Ogun and Donjo?
So
they were the only ones that
They were the only ones who were supposed to know.
Okay. And then when they get there...
Right. So Ogun and Donjo, they find out at the same time, and it's their job to write down the names of the ninjas that are going to be on the
10.
On the 10. They get to pick 10 from both their villages.
I wouldn't call it the battle royale, but like
it's it gets awful ninja-y around here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like when getting to it now that like everything like
now we're open now.
Oboro and Inosuke have the best eye jutsu, the dojutsu, but they're not the best fighters of this whole tournament style fighting ring of killing. The best one, I believe, is Kisaragi Simon.
The faceless man.
The master of disguise.
The man with no face.
That dude could change his voice, and if he could get a mold of someone's face, which was cool of Gyobu, another of the Koga clan.
Yep.
Because Simon is a part of the Koga 10. Made a mold for his face, and he could turn into one of the Iga clans or anybody's clan's person. I like when it
change his hair and everything.
Changes his face.
Before you jump in too far in Kisaragi Simon, let's introduce our clan members. Our 10 of the Oga, our 10 of the Iga, and our 10 of the Koga.
You get the Iga.
All right, kicking things off with the Iga. You have Ogun, the old lady. You have Oboro, her granddaughter, of sorts. You have Akiginyu, Oboro's watchful eye.
Guardian.
You have Koshiro, a young man that's like a cousin to Oboro. They kind of grew up together.
Yamcha.
You have Jingaro. He's a spotty-skinned fella who also seems to look after the princess, Oboro. You have Hotarubi. She's the love interest of the young man from the beginning of the show. Yashimaru. He's the love interest of Hotarubi.
Stringy fingers.
You have Ninki. He's pretty hairy.
Like Wolverine or
Sabretooth.
Sabretooth?
Yeah, Sabertoothy.
I was thinking
Beast.
Porcupine Man.
You have Rusai. He's really old. Seems like he was around back in the day when the when the Oda and the Koga attack, he's very resentful.
With his Mr. Fantastic arms and legs.
And last but not least, you have Tenzin.
What makes Tenzin so special?
He'll be your villain of the evening.
That piece of shit.
Like, and Steve?
Versus the Koga clan. You got, Inosuke.
Genosuke.
Inosuke?
Genosuke.
Inosuke.
Genosuke. You're saying it too hard. Genosuke. You're saying it too hard.
Inosuke.
Say it like Gena.
Inosuke.
Genosuke.
Inosuke.
It's closer.
I'm
It's much closer.
I'm a United States of full-blooded American. I'm gonna sound like
I can't say these Japanese words.
I'm gonna butcher this shit. All right. So goes like this. Inosuke, the prince of the Koga clan.
New and improved Sasuke.
He was better. Like
I said, new and improved.
No, like you don't even have to, like you had to disrespect him like that.
Matter of fact, he ain't even Sasuke.
You did. I'm about to say
he was Sasuke. Wish he could do.
Then you got Danjo, the leader of the Koga clan.
Old man that can spit the needles.
Old man can spit the needles. Well, that must have been his only jutsu.
That was more than enough.
That was more than enough.
Deadly accurate with that shit.
Then you met Spider-Man, Kazamachi Shogun. You have he looks at the stars. His name is Jubei. He has no arms. He has like a motorized, like it's not even motorized. It's like,
solid snake.
It's so crazy. Like he has one. He can look at the stars and kind of like Zodiac, like what's going to happen.
Gotta predict the future in ways.
Yeah. Then you got a Koi, a person that should have got more screen time, but not for those reasons.
Sexiest vampire, you know.
No, man. Like I feel
yes,
yes, but I feel like she needed more screen time, man. Like I feel like
she's still the sexiest vampire, you know.
Then you meet Udono, human boulder. He reminds me a lot of Choji, only because he can do the human boulder, but his jutsu is called the bubble body, whatever. Like he can turn into a bubble.
Bubble technique.
Bubble technique, whatever.
First but he is like this.
But he is the Master Roshi of the whole clan. That man is like, he's not even old. He's just a pervy man.
Master Roshi had to get old. He was pervy before.
Then you have the bald Vegeta, the swamp thing, the man that can disguise himself anywhere. Gyobu, the bald Vegeta.
Thing ring, do your thing.
He had like his jutsu was really nice, man.
His ninpo, they didn't have jutsu.
The right hand of Yosuke, the blind ninja, Kyoma. Then I talked about this man earlier. He's my favorite part of the Koga clan. Kisaraki Simon. And then the last, but certainly not least, the poison Konoichi, Kagura.
She's our stand-in for Ninja Scroll.
She is. But man, she does it. She's useful.
Super useful.
Like for real, man. I'm sorry, anybody who really likes Sakura, but she was the most unuseful Konoichi I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know. There's a long list of them in Naruto. Unfortunately,
it is. But like watching all these now, there's some Konoichi out there that like need to have like respect put on their name.
So this show is something I picked up before I started watching Naruto. I've always had the notion, like we said before, that when it comes to Naruto, they're just wizards that can fight. So when I saw Naruto, I was like, what kind of ninja is out here in a bright ass orange damn gi out here, what kind of ninja are you? What the hell? It turns out, after watching Naruto, there was some super cool ninja elements and ninja enhancements and stuff they did that was really cool. But at the end of the day, they're just wizards that can fight real good. I mean, at the end of the day, once you then added Sage mode and Chakra mode and Tail Beast mode and fucking the wings growing out your back, you done got into some wizardry. You done got into some wizardry.
But
in Basilisk, we have these elements of their ninpo, of their ninja ability, of their jutsu, that are not unique in a sense of you've never seen any of them before, but unique in a sense of that some of them seem like that they're trained, they're learned, and some of them seem like it's natural, like it's like almost like a mutant ability. In the cases of Jubei, in the cases of Jingaro, Jubei is a little snake-looking man, and Jingaro's ability is to turn into a slug man.
That's the grossest thing I've ever seen.
And it's curious, is it something they learned, or is it something that they, like in Jubei's case, certainly he didn't get his arms and legs chopped off so he could become a snake man and read zodiacs. Certainly that's not part of his training. Certainly not.
He learned to overcome those abilities, those disabilities.
I'm sure he was possibly born that way, and this was his strive to become ninja. He learned some techniques, and he was also born with a snake-like tongue that kind of acts like a hand.
You're lucky in some ways and unlucky in others.
It kind of reminds you a little bit of Orochimaru a little bit. Like real snaky. He has snake pupils for eyes. Has snake pupils in his eyes. He has again that forked snake tongue. He hides a blade in his throat.
I still believe Hatarubi was more Orochimaru than anything, but that's just me.
I didn't say he was Orochimaru. I'm just saying there's some comparisons you can draw with the snake not so much the snake charmer, but the snake man thing. You know what I mean?
So you believe that Basilisk compared to Naruto is like apples to oranges?
I think it's apples to oranges, but at the end of the day, I think I like apples more than I like oranges. That's a fact.
So, man, you talked about this for last 20 minutes. What makes this like the grandparents got together, but so what makes this Romeo and Juliet?
So the reason why we're calling this Romeo and Juliet is, of course, the grandparents attempted this love thing, but what the tragic part of this whole Iga and Koga 10 is that Ogun and Danjo both put their grandchildren, their adopted grandchildren, on that list as well. And their adopted grandchildren have been raised with the idea that they're going to marry one another one day. They've essentially been betrothed together and have actually just started spending time one another preparing for a ceremonial dance to announce their engagement together to both of their warring clans.
It looks beautiful.
It is. They have a little flute. She has a cute little dance. He plays a nice song.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice song. They've been practicing, and they're so innocent about it because she winds up falling asleep one night, and she's like, "Oh no, everybody's gonna think." He goes, "I don't care what they think. Fuck them." You were out here, you fell asleep in my arms, and we fucking sat here by the fire all night long. So who cares? Who cares what they think happened? Besides, you're about to be my wife.
Nope.
So with that, that's kind of what makes this Romeo and Juliet. That and the fact that in Romeo and Juliet, of course, the houses were they weren't warring, but they certainly didn't like each other. They really didn't approve of one another being seen, which is kind of where you get the Donjo and Ogun situation, because they were actually seeing each other behind their clan's back. They hadn't announced anything yet. Like, it was actually strange to see Donjo over there near Supagakure, which is where the Iga live at. Nobody seemed to know what he was up to. So they were going to secretly do it and then announce it after they married each other.
They went like running in the night. They weren't going to show nobody this shit.
Yeah, they were going to, secretly do it and like, look what we did. Now y'all got to stop, please.
Or they could have killed him.
They could have, but they probably wouldn't have, because they were next in line.
The princess.
The princess and the prince. Yes. Yep. Sorry, I'm messing this all up.
You're fine. But yeah, that I've never watched Romeo and Juliet or even read it, but the Cliff Notes, that sounds about like Romeo and Juliet.
Again, once you get deeper into it, it's certainly not Romeo and Juliet. Like, Romeo and Juliet didn't have a list of 10 to kill each other. Like
that would be a Romeo and Juliet I want to watch.
Like, there is bloodshed between the families in Romeo and Juliet, but it's nothing like, I got 10 people, you got 10 people, let's fucking go. And that's not what it was, When you get into the show, you quickly learn that you like certain characters. Like, as you meet the rest of the group on both sides, you quickly learn that you kind of like these characters. And Steve, you've talked pretty well about Kizuragi Simon. Is there anybody else that you think is worthy of your time today?
Gyobu, because he did something real in a very fucked up situation, but we'll talk about that later.
What's Gyobu all about?
Gyobu, he has a certain jutsu, or
Ninpo. It's the
same. Ninpo?
Ninja ability. Yeah, whatever. Ninpo.
Okay.
Jutsu. Say whatever.
He can pretty much, like, if people read DC, he's Swamp Thing. He can float into the fucking ground and shit, but it's by the object. He's not like actual Swamp Thing. Can't turn into water. I hope he can't turn into water. That'd be scary. That'd be scary.
It'd be the ocean.
But he can pretty much disguise himself, kind of like Simon, except Simon takes a person. Gyobu just turns into an inanimate object and can mold his arms. I don't think he takes the strength or the rock ability. That'd be cool. Like, they really wouldn't explain what they actually had in certain abilities.
Right.
Like, Gyobu can turn into inanimate objects. He can strangle people to death in those inanimate objects we'll talk about soon.
Gyobu's also, like, he's really tall and, like, jacked. Dude's like, he's like a really big muscular fella. And it's kind of important because when he shapeshifts into, a brick wall or something like that, when he grabs a hold of you, you don't just get like somebody's hands and you can break free. Like, no, you get like these wrestlers' hands, like grabbing a hold of you. And it can be pretty intimidating when a brick wall is choking you.
He kind of looks like the Rock Man from Ninja Scroll. Like,
sure he does.
Automatic. Kaguro, the poison Konoichi.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the way they explain her jutsu, but her jutsu is very nice for espionage. And that was a lot that I took from that clan, the Koga clan, that their clan was more, we're going to find out secretively and then take you out secretively. They weren't all action up front. maybe a few like Odono, maybe, and maybe Gyobu, but that was about it. All the rest of them were espionage, kind of stealthy style ninja compared to the Ego, where they had all these crazy ass fucking jutsu.
Now, the Iga clan, they had we had a man like Steve said earlier, Mr. Fantastic, old man, super old man. His head is like 3 feet long.
Alien head, if you want to think about it.
Like Roger from fucking Family Guy, like as if Roger's body was standing on top of a human's head. That's how crazy long that dude's head was. He had stretchy arms and stretchy legs, and like he was super stretchy. He was able to like whip his arms through like a forest, and like on top of being really stretchy, he could like slice right through shit with his arms, like chop right through trees and bamboo, like it was no big deal. He was really talented. We got to see him actually kill like a regular group of ninja, and he like balled a guy up on his shoulder with one arm because he used like he like stretchy armed him, and then like he rolled him back up like a duct tape.
Oh,
not a duct tape, damn it, like a measuring tape. Rolled him back up like a measuring tape and just fucking just crushed the guy all in his arms. It was wild looking. We also have a guy, again, that can turn himself into a slug monster man. What he does is if he touches salt, it'll start to liquefy his body down, and he'll turn into like a slug looking man. He can use that for a limited time to do espionage or to attack somebody from secret, which I think is primarily how he would use that. You know, climb up into a ceiling, into a cupboard or something, and just stab somebody that way.
That's a sneak attack.
Yeah, but he's got to be kind of quick about it because he needs water, like almost immediately afterwards.
Because he'll turn into nothing because of all the salt.
Right. He'll just kind of get stiff, I guess. I don't know. Like he'll dry out, I suppose.
Turn into a husk.
Just the husk of what he was. Oh, really weird technique.
A salty beef jerky.
We got another guy whose body's covered in hair. And
old Nanky.
Yeah, Steve called him a porcupine earlier.
He reminds me of so bringing up Choji earlier with the human boulder. It reminded me of Choji again because his hair could grow and he could use it.
That and
what?
Jiraiya.
Oh yeah, Jiraiya could use his hair.
Nido Jizo.
I think he was dipping his foot in some. I think his parents were dipping in some Choji families.
Possible his mom married outside of the clan.
Possibility.
That happens.
Possibility.
There's no one left for you to fuck, so because it's going to be incest, so you got to bring in new.
All right, so Nanky. Yeah. So
how things work.
That staff was kind of nice. Like that was like his whole. He looked like the perfect ninja. Had the ability. Had the staff, was really good. The only reason he died, honestly, was because of the dojutsu. Like
the dojutsu.
The dojutsu.
Yeah.
Mystic Eye is close. Like Mystic Eye outplays
everything.
Yunosuke.
Trump card.
But Yunosuke's dojutsu is like the second. That's the only way Nanky could die. That was the only way.
It's kind of the jam. Nanky, he wasn't my favorite. I didn't like how disgustingly hairy he was. I didn't like when he was particularly excited for combat. His nose hairs grew real long. I didn't like that he could swing through the trees with the hair on the top of his head. I thought, ooh, what a waste of what a waste.
Come on, man. Like I feel like that. Like I'm not gonna say I like the man personally, but as a ninja,
I didn't like that ability. I wouldn't want him on my team.
I'd want him on my team.
I actually would prefer to be mad that he killed my team. I would actually prefer that than to have him on my team.
That was a sad, sad day.
Fuck that guy. Let's see. Who else is weird as shit on the Iga side?
Tenzin.
Tenzin's weird as shit. Tenzin is known as the Immortal Ninja.
You'll find out later in the show.
Yeah, you find out kind of like what's going on with him later in the show. And like they give you a brief glimpse as to what's going on with him at the end of the show.
He's a berserk baby.
That and more, it seems. But as far as the rest of the clan in the Iga, most of the skills appear to be things that can be learned and not things that are kind of mutated, possible mutated.
Other than the hair and the stretchy arms,
like I don't.
What about?
I don't think Slugman.
What about Kishiro's black hole jutsu?
I think that's something that can be learned.
You sure?
Yeah. If the dojutsu can be learned, I think I certainly think the black hole wind tunnel
and the immortal. You can't that's a little wild.
You can't learn the immortal.
The stretchy arms is like
I might be able to learn.
I want to learn that. I would like to know how to learn.
You might be able to learn that.
Nanki's hair growing and able to use it.
Maybe you could learn that. Maybe there's a chakra unlocking.
And what's the fourth one? What's the
Jingaru? Slugman.
I think you can learn that.
I don't think you can learn that shit. I think you're a mutant to have that.
I think you know how kung fu practitioners back in the day would try to get poison hand.
Yeah.
Sometimes, man, you gotta turn yourself into Salt Man.
The salt hand.
No, he's the salt man.
I don't think you can learn a technique that will allow your body to turn into a slug when you touch salt. I think honestly, I think he was born with some kind of fucking defect, and they made it out to their benefit.
What about Akaginyu?
Akaginyu, I think you can learn that.
For real?
I think you can learn that.
And exactly explain what her ability was, because
so Akaginyu was one. She was beautiful, so kind of unexpectedly violent at the same time because of how pretty she was. You know, she could quite get down like that. But Akaginyu essentially creates a blood mist. What is it exactly? I don't know if it's actual blood or if it's I'm gonna go ahead and say ninja blood. You know how ninjas bleed to make powers happen, but it don't actually cost them nothing because they're the Uchiha's bleeding out of their eyes.
Is it like something like a genjutsu where they stop somebody in midway or something?
It's not a genjutsu. It's real. It's real because it killing them? It stains the enemy and it puts them in a hazy mist. I think it also has elements of a genjutsu, which kind of it's not like a strong genjutsu, but I think it's just again elements of it, maybe just a little bit of hazy and confusedness. Like
a paralyze or
not a paralyze
or a shock,
more like a confusion. You know, like a confused state for a moment or two, just like a awkward haziness. But yeah, as far as what her move is, I think that's it. I think it's like a blood mist situation. She might actually bleed from the top of her head like that. I'm not sure.
She blades?
Possibly.
Just like back in the day, WWE?
Just like back in the day.
Old wrestler.
Because nobody blades anymore. But yeah, I think
blood caps.
I think possibly that she might bleed from the top of her head, and that's what causes a blood mist effect. It does stain the opponent. On top of that, I mean, you can easily tell that she's, marked this person. And she also seems to be handy enough to be able to sneak through that mist and get herself a good kill. Chop your head clean off. As far as the female ninja in this show, we kind of took a dump on the Naruto girls earlier. What are the female ninja in this show like to you? Like overall, like what do you think they're like? Like how would you, if someone were to say, hey man, what are the girl ninja, what are the Konoichi like in Basilisk compared to Naruto? What would you say?
On the Akaginyu, to me, like they were really good for assists, and they never like, all right, at the very end, both of them. Well, hold on, Akaginyu had second thoughts about what was happening to both their clans, but she never wavered. She was still in for the fight. Like she knew that this was gonna be the end for her anyway. But she was useful. She kept with the assist. I think she got one. Make sure. I think she got one kill.
Liquid Gold wrote down a kill count.
Oh no, I don't think Akaginyu got a kill. I think she assisted in some, but she didn't get the kill.
She was a dope ass assist though.
Yeah, dope ass assist. I think she was a great fucking character.
And she should have had one of the kills.
And I'm happy that. So, in this story, Obero, the only thing she has going for her is her mystic eye, her dojutsu. She's very clumsy for a ninja. She's clumsier than Naruto.
She hasn't mastered any of the ninja abilities, like skills. Any of them.
She can't do anything.
She can't throw a star. She can't sneak.
Yeah, she's worst ninja with the best ability. But so Akaginyu becomes her guardian, and maybe she was possibly her mother, but they don't say that. But she was her guardian. She was a great guardian. Kagero is on the Koga side. She is deeply in love with Inosuke, but her ability kind of tells stops anybody from doing certain things with her.
Anything really?
Yeah, if she gets too happy, her breath turns into like poison ivy,
like a poison mist, like a highly toxic mist.
Yeah, she murders you soon. And her assist, and she even got she killed Tenzin straight up. And Tenzin the bad guy. She killed Tenzin.
Yeah, but so did Jubei.
And so did Gyambu.
And so did Simon.
And so did Inosuke twice. And then Obero had to finish them all.
Had to finish him.
Like, that's insane. Like,
yeah.
Some of these kill counts, some of these kill death ratios is kind of a little wild.
And I want y'all to know these are not like surprise deaths. Like oh no, he didn't really die. Like, like, oh, he survived the plane crash. Like, no, it's not like that.
Well, hold on.
It's not like that.
The stabbing in the chest the first time with Jubei, that was a little wild. I was like, okay, maybe there's something funky about him. Like, I was like, okay, he's fine. But when he came back from Gyambu's death, I was like, okay, something ain't right here.
Jubei got off on him too. That's what's crazy. Jubei got off on his ass. It shouldn't have. If that had been anybody else.
But yeah, Kagero and Akaginyu definitely need to get their flowers because I think they were the best two.
I personally think it was Akaginyu and Hotsurubi who were the best.
Damn, I even
personally, I think it was because like Akaginyu, like you said, was the assist master, and Kagero played an awesome role, especially towards the end. Okoi is my overall favorite design and all that. I like the charm and personality that that pop, that excitement that her character brings. Like if she was modern, she'd be in Chuck Taylor's, and she'd be Josie from Tekken 7.
You really think she'd be Josie in Tekken 7?
She'd be Josie. Just that kind of happy and playfulness. You know what I mean?
With an anti-nope jutsu.
That's it, anti-noping. But I think Hatsurubi, at the end of the day, no matter design or character flaw or trade or whatever, I think Hatsurubi stands above all four of the other women in the show. 5.
I'm truly sorry. I completely forgot
No,
about
I
it.
was happy you didn't say her name. I was great. I'm about to pull this card out.
Because like Hatsurubi, even though she had the saddest death,
she really did.
Oh my god!
Like I remember
the sweetest and the saddest death done to her.
I remember I cried a little bit the first time. I was like, oh.
It was sweet because Simon, and it was sad because like, you guys need to watch this shit.
You gotta watch it. Yeah. Her death was when I realized the true nature of the show. Like when I realized what most likely the ending was going to be like.
Oh, I didn't think a lot of people were going to survive, man. I like how you said it was Romeo and Juliet. I was like, oh, everyone's dying. Like it felt very sad to like see. He's like, yeah, you were right. You watch the show and you kind of get a lot of bonds to these people.
Yeah,
but these bonds are you can't.
You pick sides, and the funny thing is individually, I like the Iga better. Like as individuals, I can eliminate the ones I don't like, and if I were to do that on the Koga and Iga side, I come out liking more of the Iga. But as a clan, as a unit, I like the Koga better. Like I feel like I'd ride for Team Koga, although Spider-Man would make me uncomfortable.
I think they'd be the coolest motherfuckers to talk to.
They look like it.
Like he was even hanging with Simon
fishing.
Yep.
And like the way he fished, like fish jump out the water, he shot his web and glued his ass to the rock. Like save that one for later. It's like yeah, because you could
I can see what you're saying, but it's gonna be. I just think I like the Koga team, the Koga clan better. That's just me. Like, there's a lot more killers on the Iga clan.
Yeah,
and like, yeah, they deserve it. Like, they the thing.
Like, you could see a lot of their abilities being used in secret. You know, I'll even use one with Ninki. Ninki. I'll use one with Werewolf Man. All right,
Porcupine Man.
So he's in public, right? At his target is also in public for whatever reason. He's walking. He's got on inconspicuous outfit. He's not wearing like a ninja garb. Just an inconspicuous outfit where he wouldn't be recognized, and walks past his target and uses some hair off his back to pinpoint the dude's medulla oblongata right through the back of his head. Blip, kill him, dead, gone. You're lobotomized. You're gone. It's over. It's over. Cut the cake, bro. Bye. And just real quick and easy. And like nobody, oh, what the hell? Like, hardly leave a wound. Whatever. He ain't got to go all crazy with it. Which is one of the things I liked about them having the war that they were having, the 10-on-10. Like, because the Iga found out about the war first, like the actual the other 9, they found out about it because of course Ogun knew about it already. But when the other 9 found out about it, they found out first and early. And so they kind of just went berserk. They like went all out. They let their powers fly and was just like, yeah, we're doing this because they have this big grudge against the Koga. Whereas the Koga didn't know what was going on and had to be a bit more espionage-ish to figure it all out.
Took them 2 days.
Took them 2 days. And they lost what, 4 or 5 people?
I don't know. Jubei, McCoy.
3 people before they found out.
Hold on. Yeah, I think about 3 people.
Yeah, they lost 3 people before they found out what was going on, which was sad.
Nope. All fair and love and war.
No, it's not.
It is.
They snatched that man's sister.
Hey, man.
She was on the list.
She almost took out 2.
She really did.
She almost took out 2.
She got the first dub for the Koga. She got Koga's first kill. Okoi.
With her anti-nope.
As a female ninja, I tell you what, her and Kagero are stupid useful as far as female espionage. Stupid useful. Because, like, both of them can get all the information you want, and both of them should come out of the situation relatively unharmed.
Relatively.
Without being so brass, what they use, what Konoichi do. We kind of got an example of that in Chinese Super Ninja.
And then Ninja Scroll.
We kind of get an understanding of how they're used in the espionage game. Kind of like you would use a female spy, except you want her to kill the target before she has to sleep with him, if she can. However, Okoi has vampire skin. You touch Okoi's skin with bare flesh, and she can just start draining your blood. The more contact she has with your body, your bare body, the more blood she can drain faster. And she's not above biting your neck. Okoi is...
That's a risk.
It's a risk, but she's not supposed to be on the battlefield. She's supposed to be doing ninja things. You know what I'm saying? She's supposed to be gathering intel. She's supposed to be, finding ways to sneak into places. She's not supposed to be... these things are for, in case she gets caught.
So when the Koga find out, they're not too happy about losing 3 of their people.
Mm-mm.
And Yunosuke hasn't shown his jutsu off since it was 10 episodes, 11 episodes in?
Yeah.
Right when he finally figured it out. So the next 12 episodes, because it's only 24, he shows the Iga clan his dojutsu. And when I say his dojutsu makes people kill each other
and themselves.
No, I think killing each other was themselves if they can't find nobody. The first really scary thing to see in this scene of him killing these people is one of the guys is unaliving themselves with their sword, and they're cutting through their mouth, and you can see it in their face. They're like, I don't think I can stop this.
Oh, yeah.
And they start crying, and then you can just see them let go, and then their whole top of their head, right before their tongue, is just cut off and thrown right beside Yunosuke.
Slammed against the wall.
Wow.
That was a very impressive way to show off the power we've all been wondering what's coming.
Even Tenzin, in this whole time, these 11, 12 episodes, Tenzin has been the guy. He's been the leader behind Obero's back, because technically she's the leader, but they haven't told her anything yet.
And everybody's answering to Tenzin's orders.
He's been Billy Badass. He's been Big Nut McGee around here.
Yeah, but this one right here backed this little bitch ass off this time.
He saw that shit, was like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? Because in anime, you're going to see different ways they're going to show that a power is happening. But honestly, he's just staring at them, and then they're killing themselves.
Yeah. Most people's powers have some kind of effect to it, and they do show an effect for Genosuke, but the effect is just for the audience.
Yeah.
And so, it looks like I assume to them, it looks like this dude has force powers.
That's terrifying. That's terrifying force powers.
Dude's a fucking Jedi, and then you know it. It's kind of like he's like Legato from Trigun.
telepathically,
Right.
like a telepath.
Right. Kind of forces you to do yourself in.
So with the 3 Koga dead and the 2,
1 Iga at this point.
it was just Koi.
Okoi and Rusai.
Or my bad, it was yeah, it was just Rasai.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, for the Iga.
Yeah.
So there's 9 left of the Iga and 7 left of the Koga. When Oginosuke finds out, and he immediately makes haste to get the fuck out of the Iga clan's.
Oh no, he don't run fast. He walks out of there like a capital G. He did some serious damage to one of the Iga 7, Iga 9. Did some serious fucking damage.
Your boy.
So there's a guy on the squad on the Iga named Koshiro.
Oh, Yashimaru. He should be dead by now.
Oh yeah, two Iga. So there's a fella on the Iga squad named Koshiro. Koshiro looks dope as fuck. I have a character thing, guy with the really long hair, has a cool personality. It just seems like an overall badass. We call these characters my Yamcha. I have one in Dragon Ball Z. Can you guess his name? I have I have one in One Punch Man. Can you guess his name? I have one in, where else do I have a Yamcha at?
Kiba in Naruto.
Oh fuck, I got one in Naruto. Kiba.
Like, how did you think he looked cool though, man?
From the game? Like, I didn't know that with that hat. I thought that was hair coming from his hat, from his hoodie. So I was like, it was cooler that way. And he had a dog.
And he had a dog.
And he had a dog that attacked with him. So it was like this. Again, I like the puppet, the puppet man.
You did like the puppet man,
yeah,
but he wasn't like
their ninja abilities make more sense to me than the Rasengan.
What are you talking about, man? The Rasengan.
You can't send a motherfucker who has the superpower of the Rasengan to go assassinate a president in a different country. You can't send that guy to do that. Like, unless
send the puppet man.
Like, unless you want their capital destroyed, but then he's not a ninja anymore. He's a fucking
terrorist.
He's a fucking terrorist. A highly successful terrorist. Now,
good job. Now you're a terrorist.
Now you've destroyed a country. Jesus.
So now the gloves are off. Technically, Inosuke sends a challenge flag. He's saying that he's going to Senpu to find out what the fuck is going on. Why is this happening? And why was I told earlier than this? So on the road, he sent to the Iga clan the scroll, the ninja scroll that was having the 10 of the Iga and the 10 of the Koga.
With a letter.
With a letter. It says, hey, we're going to Senpu. If you want the hands and we pass by each other on the road, you can throw the hands. But we're going to go to this place and we're going to find out why this war is happening.
We're going to try to stop it while we're at it.
So, Tenzin, in all his madness, is saying we got to fucking fuck these motherfuckers up.
They just challenged us. They think we ain't about it. Let's go see them.
But Oboro, she don't want to fight.
No, not at all.
In the flashback, it was Ogen that was automatically ready to fight.
Yep.
Kind of like Yosuke has his backup, and he's kind of he doesn't want to hurt nobody, but if you fuck with him, he's gonna fuck with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like they flipped. It's like they flipped leads.
They flipped leads, but you also know deep down, neither person wanted this to happen.
Yeah, neither one. Because they were kids when they started at least meeting each other.
Yep, they first met when they were kids, and I mean even with Ogen and Donjo. Even with Ogen and Donjo, they didn't want this to happen this way, but they were really left with no choice.
I like how Danjo at least trained. You know, Skay? Like, at least he knows what to do.
Yeah, he got Hyoma to
Yeah.
tighten that right on up.
His uncle.
Yeah, he was like, come on with it. So what was kind of cool is that I mentioned earlier that Oboro and Genosuke were the grandchildren. Well, they were actually adopted grandchildren. Ogun and Danjo both chose to never take to take anybody's hand in marriage. They both chose to stay single and to not have any children. Uh, Presumably because they loved each other. In all honesty, like the thing that they did with their grandchildren, they both picked children that were of their bloodline, but not related to them that way. Like probably like a niece or a cousin's kid or some shit like that. Both of them are.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the fact that they kind of trained both of these kids to not know of the true horrors of the past. They wanted these kids to be ignorant of that so they didn't have the hatred for one another.
It worked.
It did work.
For them.
They both did that. So they both did that thinking of each other while doing that, which, kind of shows that off too. Unfortunately,
you can't erase 400 years of hate.
You can't do that at all. And unfortunately, this war has to happen. It has to happen. And both of them, the whole time, faking the front in front of Hattori Hanzo and Tokugawa Ieyasu. They signed up their death warrants.
Just to see what kid is going to be the leader of a whole, like
Nation,
governing body,
Providence. I don't know. He was gonna lead the area. That's for damn sure.
Over just man.
So Steve, of all the kills that we got in this show, because we got a lot, what was your favorite kill and your hated kill?
My favorite kill was later on in the show. They get on a boat, the Iga clan, and Gyobu pops in on this boat, sneaking on. And Tenzin, I'm not going to say it, folks, but he got a little handsy, gross motherfucker, with Oboro, because she needed to continue the bloodline, not with no Koga trash. And while Tenzin was doing something very inappropriate, Gyobu was like, this is the perfect time to snap that motherfucker's neck.
It's been a long time since I snapped someone's neck. How long's it been, Gyobu? Just yesterday.
So, for me, that was the best one. There is a lot better picks, but for me, that's the one. The saddest, the one that kind of got pulled at your heartstrings, I'm gonna say Akaginyu. Like Hatsurubi would be like the easy way to say it, but Akaginyu, because she's, first of all, she's Obero's guardian. She gets tricked by Kisaragi Simon. And then at the end, after she gets killed, Simon is thinking to himself, reflecting what he did. And he even kind of, I'm not going to say he got teary-eyed, but I did.
I don't think he appreciated what he had to do.
So, Kadawfi, what's yours?
My favorite kill, after rewatching it, because it used to be when Genosuke first showed his true power. And then after that, I grew up a little bit and figured it's better to get revenge. And when Hyoma killed Ninki, when he strangled that hairy son of a bitch with his own hair, I can cry right now thinking about it.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
I can cry right now thinking about it. Fuck him, his weird ass. The saddest kill. I hate when Hatarubi dies. Oh, I hate it because she was so cool. She was so fucking cool with the butterfly jutsu.
She was the best Konoichi.
She was so fucking cool. Like with the snake, and then the snake got in on the jutsu with her. You know what I'm talking about? When she was doing the butterflies? Like that image of her doing the jutsu with the butterfly and the snake wrapped around her fucking wrists. That thing was so dope. That she had like an albino snake. Like it was like you would have to be the dopest character of all time. She's not. Like I feel like any other ninja would fuck her up if she doesn't have time to, do her jutsu.
Her crazy ratio is a little off.
Well, not really. Her hot to crazy ratio is perfectly where it should be at. There's a perfect balance. Don't fuck with her. You'll get to keep your penis. Sorry, that was not my saddest though. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
The saddest for me, I went off on a tangent.
I know exactly.
Oh, you know damn right, is Okoi.
So your favorite is the man who killed her, and your saddest is what he did to her?
Yep. I hated that. I was watching this shit again with you. It's like my 5th time watching this show since 2007. And I always think, don't grab Forrest's body. Don't grab Forrest's body. Do not, Okoi, don't do it. Because the first time she did it, I was like, got him. She about to get another one. She about to fuck him up right here in the open with the door wide open. Here she, oh. That was some old Children of the Corn shit he did to her. That was not okay. He was explicitly told not to do shit like that to her. And he wasn't in enough danger where he had to do that. He was too hairy for her to actually do anything to him.
Fair, but he didn't know what she was doing.
Yeah, he did. He was well aware. You saw that fucking smile on his face. Fuck him. Fuck him sideways. The only Koga to take one of their lives while smiling was Gyobu. The rest of them didn't seem like they really wanted to kill them motherfuckers.
So, ma'am.
Wait, how often did the Iga smile while killing a Koga? They went to the Manjadani. They went to the Koga Manjadani. Masked their words and just started mangling Koga Ninja. Mangling them. Using all their fancy moves and techniques and special abilities and wind tunnels and boomerang sides, and they went over that. Can you imagine if Yashimaru would have been there? Right. Imagine if Yashimaru would have been there.
That's why he wasn't there.
That's exact. They didn't want to draw that. They were like, that'd be fucked up.
That'd be fucked up.
We'll go ahead and let him get slid.
Then why didn't Tenzin do that? Because Tenzin should have been that real at the beginning.
What do you mean?
Tenzin was doing some shit, but he wasn't doing like I thought he was going to be doing.
He was working.
How they made him at the end?
He was working. Tenzin showed he was sweet with the sword from the giddy up.
Favorite Tenzin death?
Kagero.
You die like that?
With her involved. I might take that L.
You take that long L?
I might take that L. Oh, shit. I might take that L.
I said it was my best, but his best death is when it's over.
Oh, the final kill?
The final kill. Like for the reason of this whole like TV series, TV show, season of it, you can know he was the guy. he was the guy that you're gonna hate. He looked like the evil dude. He didn't look like he had anything redeemable about him.
Well, so did Rusai. He looked like a piece of shit, but he wasn't. Like, he actually wasn't a piece of shit.
Well, look at Tenzin. He was a piece of shit, and he looked like a piece of shit.
Like, Rusai had the opportunity to do some super piece of shit, and wasn't even close to being on his mind. He died for it.
But Tenzin dying that way, chef's kiss.
I needed his body thrown into a volcano while we were at it.
But you know what? Nope.
And there wasn't a volcano locally around.
So you were talking about this off air. You said this whole thing is, what was it? What's a basilisk?
Okay. So up until this time watching the show, I was pretty sure why the show was called Basilisk. I assumed it was because of Tenzin. Like, I made a goofy assumption. Was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It was just like, oh, it's a mythical creature. I didn't really know a whole lot about Basilisk, like what they were. I've experienced them in video games and RPGs and stuff like that. Not Final Fantasy, but Squaresoft RPGs and stuff. They show cockatrice, Basilisk, turn you into stone, can poison you, all kind of stupid shit. I mean, hyper powerful, got fire breath, resistant to like fucking everything. They usually are. Like, you gotta just grind them the fuck down usually. What I learned while taking a peek at a basilisk, or at what they are, within their mythology, they're capable of doing like a lot of things. And here are some of the characteristics of a basilisk. They're a chimeric monster, usually some type of half bird, half snake, half lizard, or something like that. They say it's like if a cockerel, which is like another kind of like weird chicken thing, incubates a toad's egg or a snake's egg, you can get a basilisk. Basilisk has the ability to turn you into stone just by staring at you. It has a very putrid poison breath. It has a very potent venom that it can not obviously, but it can pretty much one shot anybody from about a meter away. Their bodies themselves are poison. Touching one. Back to the poison breath and whatnot. Apparently, there's a myth of a man stabbing a basilisk on a horse while carrying a spear, and it killed him, the horse, and probably anything around them. It killed them both after stabbing it with a spear. Apparently, they have the hiss that can madden you or paralyze you, cause you just to straight up stop moving, stop functioning, stop doing the thing you were able to do a moment ago. They're dangerous to anyone and everything in its path. Even other snakes are known to run from it. And they're also known to kill without causing any wounds. Some of the comparisons I drew in Basilisk.
The anime.
Well, yes.
Because you were just talking about Basilisk.
A Basilisk versus, yeah, okay.
The Basilisk.
So, so in comparisons to the show, what we have people that are kind of chimera looking. You have things like Kazamachi Shogun. You have that Tengu looking fella from the Iga clan. You don't know his name, but he was there when Genosuke showed up for the little tea ceremony. There was that one guy like a really, really bird face. Rusai had a really bird face. And again, Kazamachi Shogun and Jubei both shared snake features. They had that weird tongue, and Jubei also had the snake eyes. I don't think the scales were part of his body. I think it was part of his suit, his outfit. Ninki looks like a monkey man. I mean, you know. And,
Porcupine Man.
And Jingaro is a lizard man of sorts. A slug man of sorts, excuse me.
Yeah, Slug Man.
Half bird, half snake. The Koga and the Iga are represented by cobras and eagles. Genosuke and Oboro have the ability to stop what you're doing by paralyzing you or essentially turning you into stone with just a gaze. Also, Genosuke has the ability to cause madness with his gaze.
Like
Gyobu himself turns into stone.
technically.
Kagero represents the poison, the very potent poison from a distance. And Okoi, Minky, and Kagero kind of embody the don't touch me or you'll die. Rusai embodies the bird body with the bird face, also that Tengu guy I was talking about. Jubei embodies the snake. And of course, dangerous to everyone around and can kill without leaving wounds. The ninja.
Ooh, look at there. Kadawfi doing some research.
I just kind of always thought that it was Tenzin that was the Basilisk. But again, reading further into what Basilisk are, it just started to kind of dawn on me that like the Basilisk is what we were trying to accomplish with the marriage of the Koga and the Iga. We were trying to put all that together to accomplish the Basilisk.
Because even in the beginning, how you're saying everything comes together, they have a snake and a hawk fighting, and they come together
and kind of form a
circle, kind of like alchemy.
Kinda. Everything's a circle.
Everything's a circle.
In the show, Tenzin speaks briefly about a man who could change his face that was Iga and infiltrated the Koga. And called down the assassination of the Iga when the Oda attacked. Tenzin's backstory takes place 200 years prior to the moment of us meeting him. Tenzin's mother was an Iga, and his father was a Koga. On one of their faithful nights to meet, Koga dad meets pregnant Koga Iga mom, and also has some of his violent buddies with him that night. And they slaughter Iga mom and force him to deal the killing blow. And then he also cuts the baby out of the womb. They say this baby had a twin brother that was absorbed into the flesh. A twin brother that won't let his big brother pass away.
Creepy motherfuckers.
It seems Tenzin's birth is a birth of hatred. Tenzin was raised as a Koga ninja for about 20 years of his life, and then he switched to the Iga. For the next 180 years, Tenzin was the immortal ninja of the Iga.
Respectfully, he has a fair right to do that. But fuck him.
It is really one of those fuck him situations. Like, I'm sorry that you're immortal, you piece of shit. I wish I was immortal. Fuck off. Life can't be that bad, Sasuke.
Do you really believe to be immortal? Would you really want to have that?
Dude, why not?
Just live forever?
Why not? In my opinion, eventually you'll get to see the continent shift back around and maybe dinosaurs come back or some crazy shit. Like, if you're just hanging out here forever, anything's possible. You see all kinds of shit. You can survive through asteroids and meteorites and fucking devastation of Earth and just hop skip to the next planet.
I don't think it makes like that.
I mean, what if there's spaceships around by then? Who knows? I want to be there for it. I'm going to be there for it. That'd be cool as fuck. Like, that's a gift. And they let him keep his penis? You usually have to lose shit to become immortal. He got to keep everything.
How do you know he didn't lose his balls?
Would that matter?
Yeah, kind of.
Does it?
He can't move his place around. He can't make more kids.
I don't think he needed kids. He's a piece of shit. Anyway. But yeah, that was kind of like my little synopsis of what I think is going on with Basilisk and why I think, why I think Basilisk is the jam. Why I think it's one of the most worth it ninja shows ever. Personally, I still compare this show to Naruto. I still compare this show to any ninja show that I watch. As far as anime is concerned, I always think back like, all right, can you at least give me this quality? Because I don't think it's the best show ever. I think it's brilliantly designed. I think the character creation is beautiful. I think this was the first time I saw anime mixed with 3D animation, like to the way that they did it, and it blended in so well together. I think this was the first time I saw a spider guy the way that Kazamachi was. It reminded me a little bit of what the fuck was it? It was a kung fu movie where they were spider ninjas. Yeah, they were spider-like ninjas, but I don't remember what it was. But it kind of reminded me of that when I first saw it. When I saw it for the first time, to me, it's a dope ass show. I think it's worth anybody sitting down and watching the 24 episodes. I feel like you're gonna come out of it sad and happy at the same time.
Sad.
What do you think, Steve?
Romeo and Juliet for ninjas. How it began is how it ends.
There was a lot of love.
But you got to see how that ends.
And a lot of hearts broken.
Check it out, you guys. It's Basilisk Ninja Scrolls. 2005. There's a remake in 2016. Don't watch that. We haven't watched that one, so we can't say that that's good. 2005 one, great.
Don't watch the live action. There was one more tidbit I wanted to share.
Okay.
Before we go. So apparently, this show reminded you a good bit of Ninja Scroll, the movie.
Yeah.
So apparently, Ninja Scroll and the Basilisk are both adapted from the same novel series, the Koga Ninja Scrolls. It was a novel series created, I think, in 1956. I have not personally read it yet. I'm not really 100% sure what it's about yet, but I'm going to give that a read here soon because I didn't know these two series were related that way. And I think some of the other shows we watch, some of the other things that we enjoy, might get some of their information, some of their references from there as well. And I wonder how many times it did it before Kaneko Man. You stay classy. And thanks for stopping by.